Hey everybody, I'm Paul from Canadian Woodworks and Legacy Lumber. We're back, episode 3 of our Slaburday on Saturdays. We're mixing it up a little bit today. We're going to be cutting this stump. I've had this for a long time. This is a big giant piece of maple and it's really short. So cutting traditional slabs out of it doesn't necessarily make sense. And it's a really cool shape. It's got like a flower pattern going, all sorts of stuff going on. So instead of cutting it into normal slabs, we're going to be cutting this into cookies. How thick? How thick are we going to cut these? We'll probably cut these around 5 inches thick. No problem though, we will be able to dry them in our vacuum kiln. Once you get to that thickness, it becomes a lot more difficult to dry. So I grabbed this with a halute. We're going to get set up on the sawmill. I got to do a little bit of changing around. I got to put some 4x4s on there that are going to be aligned in a way that I can pick this up underneath it and then drop it onto the sawmill. Typically we don't even have to clamp this down or put in any wedges or anything. And we're going to see what's inside this stump. Okay, so the plan is I'm going to have the forks pretty narrow. I'm going to go under that big giant stump, I guess we'll call it. It is a log. I set up these 4x4s, so the forks are going to come in here in between these. I'll be able to set the cookie down and then pull the forks out. We'll put a couple screws probably in the base of the stump, and we'll get to it. Another clap for you folks. 2 different gloves. All right, we've got snow covered on this thing. My memory is failing me right now, but there might be some metal or some stones in it, so I want to see what's behind the snow. Yeah, we could just broom it off, but let's have some fun with some fire and melt it off. Oh. Don't get me wrong, we could have left this stump in the shop overnight, could have melted it all off, not nearly as fun. Also, I just forgot. So sorry Andy that you're braving the cold out here. I'll heat you up with the torch. But check this out, this is exactly why I'm doing it. Right down in here, you can see, look at these rocks that were embedded in here. And that is gonna definitely mess up the sawmill blade. So this is why I'm cleaning all the snow off and I'm gonna then be brushing out and getting all these rocks. I also thought maybe there was a clothesline wheel attached to this one, but I think that's a different stump. Hey, the sun's coming out. Oh. All right, I'm glad I did that. Snow's cleaned off. We got all the rocks. We scraped off a bunch of sand that was on there too. Our bunks are all set up. We're going to slide the forks back under the cookie, or not a cookie yet, the stump. We're going to place the stump on here, tension the saw blade. It's still the saw blade from before. I usually like to make my first cut with it, judge how nice the cut is. If it's flat, we'll keep the blade on. If not, we'll have to change that blade. I'm going to hop in the forklift, put it here. We're going to make some sawdust. Okay, stump's on the mill, blade is tensioned, got a razor up, set the blade guides. We're going to see what's inside this beauty. Go up now. All right, first cut's through. Seemed to cut really well, so we'll probably keep the blade going, but we're going to take the waste off. I'm going to have a little peek. Oh, hello there. How do you do, Spalting? Very, very nice. Let's get some water on this baby. We're going to pop the grain. Okay, Andy asked a good question. What thickness are we going to cut it at? I have decided 6 inches. So probably after it dries, warps and whatnot, and twists a bit, it'll probably surface to 5 inches. And then he said, hey, does this fit through your planer? Usually end grain, we don't put through the planer, and definitely not. This is 54 inches this way, and we have basically 54 inches that way. So these are darn big cookies. This could be a tabletop, really. Sweet! So every cut we've done, we've removed the cookie. Just like the logs, we typically cut 3 or 4 slabs, and then I'll hear the blade kind of pinching at the end and wanting to bind up and pull the slabs off, which is a disaster. So we haven't taken the cookies off, but we're going to mix it up a little bit. We're going to leave the one cookie on top, and we're going to cut this right through, and we're going to see what happens. Clapping. So this is going to be the waste piece, which is the very bottom. It's still a pretty darn good cookie, but we do have a plan for this. Marco Barakowski, local to me, amazing woodworker, amazing artist. He will be taking this, burning it with a torch, using some fancy ink, I don't know the name for it, some fancy paper also, and he makes wood prints of these. If you're watching my videos, you see the wood print in my office behind me, and that's done by Marco. We'll make sure to put a link in his website below. But generally, the tops and the bottoms, I always try to save them. Sometimes they break, and you know, it is what it is. But I like giving these to him. I don't charge him anything, and I just think he's a wicked, wicked artist, and it's cool seeing all the different uses of the wood that we do. We got coffee tables, we got tabletops, we got wood prints. It's so amazing. So this has been a great day. So that's it for episode number 3 of Slaburday on Saturdays. This was a fun one, a unique one. We're gonna keep coming at you with different stuff, hopefully. This was about 54-inch diameter, even a little bit bigger actually. 54 was a couple cookies down. We now have to sticker these and get them air drying, and we can dry these at any point though in our vacuum kiln, which is pretty exciting. And in fact, my dealer in Quebec, Concept M Rustique, literally just gave me a call, said, I'll take 5 of those cookies, please. And you saw my Instagram screen already blowing up, people interested in this kind of stuff, which is great to see because this was salvaged from a local tree service company who, it was just an awkward, big, huge log for them. So they were going to mulch it, they were going to cut it into firewood, but they didn't do any of it. They just sat in his yard for a while. Sat in my yard for a long time too, but mostly because I wanted to get that spalting going on it. And to me, that paid off. I think this stuff is beautiful, it's unique, full of character. The sawmill ran perfectly, all nice flat cuts. Whew, it's a cold day here, folks. It's really, really cold. So we're all done. I hope you enjoyed the episode. As always, make it a great one. We'll be dropping these every Saturday. So please subscribe, smash that like button, comment below. I'm tired.